All right, welcome back to the Iowa Bourbon Bracket here. My quest to find my favorite Iowa made bourbon. I told you guys I was going to have some guests for this next round, and I do. I have some great ones here tonight. I'm going to shoot a few different videos. But with me first, JD Scholten, Iowa House representative
Yeah,
from Sioux City.
that's right.
I'm super excited to have you here. And
Yeah.
I wanted to get people that were not only influential in Iowa but bourbon scene, and I know you enjoy a
Oh.
cocktail every now and then, right? I mean, you got to with all you got going on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I think a lot of story was about playing baseball again after
Mm-hmm.
17 years. The whole reason it started is because I had a few too many of these, and I went down during COVID, went
Yeah.
down a YouTube or a rabbit hole of YouTube pitching videos, and so this is pretty instrumental on why I'm still playing baseball.
I think having a few drinks can be productive and it can also be destructive. I have a few stories from my college days where my coaches would probably think it was more the latter, but
Destructive.
you know, one of the things I really am excited about, kind of what you've got going on with Iowa politics, and this ruralized populist, and
Yeah.
kind of like just kind of explain your view of kind of your vision for the future.
Yeah, so I like to say I'm cut from a cloth of old school prairie populism,
Mm,
and so that very much is a lot of working class issues like raising the minimum wage and things like that, universal health care. But then you also have the anti-monopoly side, which in agriculture, um, a lot of my family grew up on farms, and so for me, the whole reason I got into politics, my grandmother on her deathbed said, "You got to take care of the family farm."
hmm
And you talk to most farmers, they're being squeezed on the input side from fertilizer companies and seed companies, and there's only just a handful of them. And then on the market side, there's only a handful of them, so they're being handcuffed.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where it comes from. And just I really believe in grassroots. I bought a used Winnebago RV and just went nonstop in my congressional races, and then that's kind of my style, I guess.
Yeah, kind of went on the map, giving Steve King a run for his money. I know it was really exciting for us here in the metro, at least, to see somebody who, people who were just kind of fed up with kind of him representing us, and it was
Yeah.
good to see.
Yeah, I do feel bad for Ray Gun for they had to get rid of those shirts,
Yeah.
but here we are.
All right. Well, let's get into the first
Yeah,
drink
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So this is going to be number one here.
Number one.
Again, completely blind tasting. I've got them numbered 1 through 8 right now. We're going to go through a few of them. So let's just give it. We're not going
Yeah,
to go through all the different notes, but
yeah.
let's give it a taste and see what you think.
All right. This is nice. This smells nice.
It does have a nice smell, and the thing that I like is with this one is it really just kind of sits in your mouth, and it coats your whole mouth and
Yeah,
has a really good feel to it. And different flavors keep coming through it
yeah.
all the time.
This is a
So
great like after dinner drink.
yeah,
I would guess like
yeah,
this is I'm
yeah.
liking.
This one I have a pretty good idea which one this might be already from the first taste, and without getting in the next one, I think this one's gonna be pretty tough to beat. But
I'm not gonna lie. Like this is. I mean, I'll drink all of
yeah,
them, but this is really good.
yeah. So that tough one to beat right there. So
Yeah,
that's our number one. So let's talk a little bit about baseball career, because
yeah.
we were talking a little bit before we went on. I was wondering if we had even played against each other before. I don't think the
I
years
don't.
met. You're a little bit younger than I was, and you were at Nebraska just after I was at Iowa State.
Yep.
So, in fact, my last win was against Nebraska.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah. So that was kind of my. They were ranked number one at the time. It was pretty exciting for
That was
me,
a
but
good team.
it was a
Yeah.
loaded team. Luckily for me, the wind was blowing in that day, so there was a lot of long fly balls to the
Yep.
warning track. But so recently you got back into baseball.
Yeah.
I'm
Wild.
not going to say exactly how old you are, but
Yeah.
you're not no spring chicken.
Right. So at 44 years old, I got a call. So during the pandemic, I hadn't touched a ball in like 6, 7 years. Had a few too many whiskeys. Ended up immediately after watching these YouTube rabbit hole thing. Next day I bought a couple dozen balls and a net and just started throwing again. Now I used to play town team ball up in Minnesota, which they have an amazing town team. They have these small fields, sell beer for $1. 100 fans go there. It's like pure Americana. I
Yeah.
love it. And my parents live up there. And so after my second congressional campaign, I wanted to spend a little bit more time with them. So I started pitching up there, and I told my team, I was like, I don't know what I have, but I'll give my all. I ended up going 10-1 with like a 1.6 ERA or I don't know, something like that. So I started hitting up the Explorers because I played on them before and said, hey, at one point in the year, usually they're just desperate and they just need a body.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened last year. And they called me with less than 3 hours notice. And I mean, I was a beer and a half in because I was volunteering at a music
little
festival.
David Wells type situation there.
Exactly. And so I came in and ended up getting the win and went 6-2 on the year, tied for the team lead in wins. And so it was crazy to be able to touch something that you're so passionate about after 17 years. It was wild.
And as far as independent baseball goes, these are really good players. These are a lot of players who've gotten really high in developmental ball, maybe some with some major league experience.
Thank goodness I had no time for a scouting report before my first game, because there was 3 guys who played AAA the year before and a former big leaguer. Like I called my I'll name drop here, Tony Watson.
Okay.
Dallas Center Grimes kid, ended up going to Nebraska.
Played with my brother for a long time too.
All-star 1 year. Anyhow, I was like, hey, here's my day, and just kind of like crazy. And I go, but this dude hit the highest fly ball off me ever. It only went to first base, but like, I mean, I've never seen something like that. And he's like, who was it? I was like, Jalen Davis. He goes, I played with Jalen in San Francisco 2 years ago. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, let's get this number 2 here and see what we think.
It's a little bit more, I would say, smoother or easier to drink.
Yeah.
Maybe not smoother, but easier to drink. This is not bad, but that's pretty golden.
The one thing, when I brought this up to my nose, I felt the alcohol a little bit more. So it's a little more alcohol forward, I think.
Yep.
But as far as like total all around flavor, I really like the first one.
Oh, the first one's money.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to go with the first one.
100%.
With mine.
I'm with you.
All right. So let's see what is not moving on then.
Okay.
The next round. So.
And
not moving on.
And not to say
oh
this
my
was
gosh,
bad.
This surprised me.
Oh my goodness.
This surprised me because this is the one that I had picked to win it all after the first round. And this is the Steeple Ridge 4-grain sour mash bottled in bourbon whiskey, 100 proof. I thought that was going to win it all. And I was almost convinced that the first one was the sour mash. In fact, that's definitely the second. So I'm really curious what beat it. I can't remember what the matchups are. And this is kind of funny. It's the Cody Road single barrel bourbon, which got a bye into this round. So I hadn't tasted that. And I didn't really, I didn't love the other one that I had tasted. So this is single barrel, and really good, really surprised me, and really good bourbon.
Yeah. I mean, both are phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one.
Yeah.
So Cody Road single barrel is going to be moving on.
All right.
JD, thank you for joining me and
having
having a drink. I think it's kind of cool. I've been following your career for a while here. Any announcements for the future?
Yes. Well, I don't know. I don't have a contract for baseball quite yet, but I am going to start on Saturday. We have our preseason camp, and so I'm going to try to play with the X's one more year.
Very cool. Very cool.
Politically, I don't know yet.
All right. Well, I think we're going to see some big things. I don't know, but I think we're some big things out of you in the future. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll see what the next matchup brings.
All right.
Thanks.